What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Check it out, guys. Today, I just want to say I love you. Not you. Well, maybe some of you. Not all of you, though. The people who make fun of my arms, definitely not you. Or my calves, or my traps. My really, really bad beard. I want to say that I love my wife. Today marks the anniversary I care about. I'm not a big fan of weddings. I've never been. It's so contrived, so just planned. I mean, I think that love, passion, all that happens in the moment. You know, it's like, boom, you get that click. I don't know if you guys ever had that before. I don't know if you guys have ever fallen in love, been in love, or had that situation. And there's arguments with whether, you know, true love exists or whether the human mind and body can have that spiritual connection, the soulmates, whether there's a soul or not. I mean, that's up for debate as well. But here's the bottom line. I remember the first date with my wife. I remember the connection I felt with her. And I'd been on a couple dates before. Granted, I was 16 years old, but they were stupid kid dates. But even at 16, I just felt like, wow, this is the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. And it was there. It was there, and it worked out where she felt the same way about me, or I drugged her well enough. Either way, it worked. Now, that's fine and dandy, fine and good. And a lot of people ask, you know, how you stay with someone 16 years. I'm only 32 years old. That's half my life. I've been with my wife half of my life. I have been with Katie. Only girl I've ever had sex with, dead serious, okay? Which means I probably suck in bed to anyone else, but she thinks I'm all right. So check it out. Okay. I think it goes, how do you keep a relationship lasting, is far beyond the normal thought process of be nice, this and that. I think it goes into your whole personality. Think about it. Your personality. What is my personality? Well, let's take a look. In sports, I wasn't tall enough to be anywhere on football. I was 5'6". Somehow they lifted me at 5'11". I'm still wondering how that worked, right? Yet, I was able to parlay that into actually helping it put me through college because I tried hard and I refused to give up. I committed. That's the word of this. I committed to the football field, and in the off season, kid you not, I trained for 6 hours a day. First, my junior year, my buddy Leon. I wonder where Leon's. I haven't talked to Leon in a long time. My senior year, I kind of, whoever would stay with me. Okay? So we basically rocked that out, and that was commitment. As far as business, when I first started my company, when I first started at Weeder, I was the one who was willing to travel the most. I was willing to stay the longest at the office, willing to take calls, off hours. I was willing to do what it took to grow. It was funny, I saw the guy who hired me at Weeder. His name's Lia Clark. And we're talking, and you know, it's really weird to see him now because I owe him such a high amount of gratitude. At 19 years old, I beat out people with a master's degrees, you know, to get that position at Weeder. You know, 19 years old, and people with experience selling ads and publishing, and they probably hired me because I took a lot less money. But the bottom line is that he gave me that chance. He saw something in me. He saw a level of commitment. I don't know what he saw, but regardless, we were successful. It was funny. We were joking around with a couple guys we knew from the industry, like, hey, we used to work together. And then we looked and we said, you know what? We made shit happen. We turned such high profits, high revenue, that the company was very, very well. In fact, we did so well, they ended up selling the damn company to AMI. And it was a 70-30 ad versus subscription split, which means that most of the bills were paid from advertising revenue, not subscriptions nor newsstand purchases. You know, I committed to my wife, not on September 30th, on April 13th. I committed to her when we got married. I committed my life. I committed everything, my soul, and everything stated in that marriage contract, the ketubah, which I didn't even sign, but let's just assume I did. I committed to staying with her, to being faithful, to providing, and I committed aside to providing for her, providing for my family, and doing whatever it took to to basically fulfill my role as the male in the family. I'm old school. Look, I cry. I mean, I do a lot of things that are new age, right? At the end of the day, I'm an old school conservative. I believe one parent should be at home staying with the kids. If my wife made more money than me, I'd be friggin' at home taking care of the kids. Or if she wanted to work and I didn't. I honestly think if she would have kept up with her career, my wife was actually a marketing director for 2 multi-million-dollar companies by the age of 24. And then she left the workforce to raise children. My wife is a genius. She's smarter than me. She's more talented than me. She's so far out of my league. And, you know, I would have stayed at home. I'm old school like that, but I committed to going that next level. Now, what the hell is the point of all this? First of all, it's to say I'm the luckiest man alive to still be with my wife. 11 years married, 16 years together. Another thing is just to say that, look, marriage, relationships, weight training, school, business, your friendships. I mean, ask my friends, you know, ask them about my loyalty to friends. Go ahead and ask Sean Torbati from HPN. If he had to call somebody to get him out of some shit, who would he call? And you know what? I credit a lot of my loyalty and commitment to how I grew up. I grew up, well, partially on the streets, right? I wasn't a homeless person, but I spent a lot of time in the hood, all right? And what I learned about in the hood is that you got to have your homies back. And I don't think people these days have each other's backs. I had a few business associates of mine in the past who stabbed me in my back. It's just the code of the streets, right? And nobody seems to fucking have that anymore. And if we can all have that and stay true to our commitments, true to our friends, true to our word, I think we'd be a lot better society and you would be a lot better person. So, commitment. That's the name of the day. That's the word of the day. And obviously, I'm not committed to getting smarter. I need to take more of that HPN NR. See, I'm always selling too. I'm committed to selling shit. So that's the thing, guys. I really appreciate you watching. This video embodies more of this channel, and it's probably gonna get low views because it's stupid. There's nothing funny. I'm not eating against Furious Pete. I'm not doing pull-ups with Frank Madrano. I'm not hitting Big J on the back in Slap City. I'm not macking hoes with Chris Jones, who are my good friends, who I would take a bullet for any of them. But I'm telling you this embodies what this channel is all about. It's about much more than just training, much more than just eating, much more than just going and trolling people at McDonald's like Van and I did this day, which was fucking hilarious. And I'd watch that over and over. This channel is deeper. It's about more. I'm a 32-year-old man who owned a company, sold a company, now owns a company. I put out YouTubes to help you guys and also to help promote my business. Let's not get it twisted. This is a marketing channel as well. But in process, I'm going to give you some good advice. It's about family. I have my family on here. I'm willing to risk putting my family on here with a bunch of weird-ass people out there to show people, look, here's how I balance it. And whether it's right, whether it's wrong, this is how I feel it can be done or how I'm attempting to do it as best as I can. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry for the long-winded video. Katie. 16 years, the best years of my life. Well, the first 16, I couldn't walk for a couple of them, and well, I was going through puberty for the other half, but nonetheless, these were the greatest. Honestly, I wouldn't change anything about my life, and my wife is the greatest thing ever happened to me. Little people know, people don't know. When I met my wife, literally the week I met my wife, I was going down the wrong path. Let me just say that. I don't want to incriminate myself, but let me just say that I was doing some shit that shouldn't have been done. I was hanging out with the wrong people, doing some shitty things. And I met Katie and she pulled me out of it. Much appreciated, guys. Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Because 16 years with the same person and only having sex with one woman your entire life, that's not a game.